These new headphones are squeezing. Oh, there we go. Oh.
Well, you can loosen it up, Josh.
Making sure I had them on the right ears.
Yeah,
Ooh, these are nice.
You can twist this.
Oh.
And then pull them down a little bit. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's how aliens must climax.
Yeah.
These are nice. They don't squeeze my ears.
Yeah.
It's the worst part about having huge satellite ears is these type of headphones. They hurt.
Right. Well, you'll notice if you're joining us by video that
Kim has lost some weight.
Kim has lost a lot of weight. There's a little Velma doll that we have in her chair because, well,
she is just taking
she
forever.
is so slow. I'm not even sure where that bitch is.
She said she left about 10. And what time is it now?
Well, the thing is I had to work at the farmer's market this morning until 10. And I thought maybe I misread her text from a couple days ago, but I thought that she was going to be here a little bit after 10, thinking that I would get here.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the farmer's market at like 10:15, and she sends a text to Josh and I, and she's like, okay, I just left my house. I'm like, an hour and a half? And
yeah, it's 10 till noon now.
Yeah.
Bless her.
And Kim doesn't just like make one stop. She makes a couple because she's got to get her breakfast sandwich.
And I mean, I know the drive from Wabash to just right by her house where my best friend lives. It takes me roughly an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes with traffic.
Yeah, well, Josh,
bless her heart.
Kim also has an irritable bowel.
There is one thing about her driving, and I love that she's going to edit this and hear it. It's not like a bad thing, but just one of over the years of driving with her, I've noticed that when she's at a stop, she does not accelerate quickly at all.
Oh, yeah.
She just kind of, even if there's like a car coming quick or a semi or, I'm like, come on, girl. Come on. You're in the back seat, like trying to hit the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Like, come on, girl. That thing's coming quick.
It's also funny to me because maybe it's a short person thing, but she turns so wide. It's like she's driving a semi.
An RV.
Oh my gosh. Every time she goes to turn that stinking car, I'm like, Kim, are you afraid you're going to hit the corner? I mean, you're like 10 feet away from it.
Thing.
No.
Although with her beast of a car, if she curved it, wouldn't it be like...
Yeah. Kim has a Traverse, which is big, but I still don't know why she cuts those curbs so wide. Look at us just being backseat drivers to Kim.
I am too. I'm a passenger princess, but I'm judging too. I'm judging that driving.
Well, we were raised Baptist, Josh, and that's what we were. That's what they teach in church. Jesus judges.
Oh, Lord.
You just can't say it out loud in front of their face.
I remember rolling my eyes a lot in the car growing up because we grew up with the type of men that would just like zoom in their truck past somebody just to be an ass. And yeah, look at him. And I remember just rolling my eyes. Uncle Benny would do it often too, especially if, oh, look, there's a woman in that car.
But this is going to get going. Meanwhile, the woman's like, that's so annoying, dumbass.
Well, now that I'm, middle-aged, I think about like, oh, which adult in my life did I pick up this trait from? Or, I like to connect the pieces of stuff. And one of the things I did learn from our uncle is not to have sex where you often frequent.
Yeah.
Like with the people.
Good idea.
So I was talking to our mom the other day and we were laughing, not like shit talking, just, humor laughing about how our uncle had to go through like several different haircutting places because he kept dating the single mom beauticians. I'd go with him because I lived with them. It was just him and me for like half of my senior year till grandma moved back. And so, we'd go get our haircut like every 2 weeks or so. And I'd always go with them. And I'd leave with a haircut. He'd leave with a haircut and a date with whatever single mom working 2 jobs who loves her kids and never saw. And then, he didn't date them for long.
Right.
So then he'd piss off that beautician and she wouldn't cut his hair and he'd move on to the next one till he'd get like 3 or 4 in. And Wasn't allowed back at the beauty shop.
I'm pinning Kim's location. I'm pinging it.
Oh, good.
Oh, she's just downtown still.
She probably stopped to get her a
She
tea.
probably did.
You're
Take a
making
poop,
us
get a tea.
wait.
No
It
kidding.
is Saturday, Kim. I've got men to jump
No
on.
kidding. I've been on this huge outdoor gardening and
I've
fixing up the
noticed. It looks
yard.
nice.
Well, you know what's funny is
I
that
was wondering when that was going to kick in for you. For me, it was about 17.
well, I've never had the urge to do anything in the yard. I hate yard
I
work.
know.
And I think it's because I've lost enough weight that I can do it and not be too uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, you know what would go great on this side of the house? A huge garden.
Yeah.
Let me just put in a garden over here. And the house is now not balanced. I need another huge garden on
Once
the
you
other side of
start,
the house.
and then even like you'll finish one thing and you'll be so exhausted and you're like, oh, it looks good. Ooh, it'd look nice if I did this over here.
Yeah, well, there are 2 new trees planted on my property, and I did not mean to purchase those trees. I was at Lowe's and I was like,
Were
oh,
they
that's a nice tree. I could put that in my backyard. And then I thought, well, Shane, if you have a tree in the backyard, you got to have one in the front yard.
Yeah, symmetry.
Yeah, so I got a tree for the front yard. And then,
Gotta have 2 trees for the backyard.
well,
The shade.
see, this whole thing started because I went to Lowe's to get a new water hose. That's what it was, a new water hose.
Ended up with trees.
Well, in order to get to the back part of Lowe's, if you're in the parking lot, you have to go through the Garden of Eden.
They know what they're doing.
And I'm telling you, that snake bit me hard because I'm seeing all these pretty flowers. I'm like, oh my gosh, this would look so cute in the flower bed. But at my house, only the front had ever had a garden bed or anything like that. And I've never messed with it since I moved into my home. And I thought, well, I'll have to fix that up a little bit if I want to plant something else in it. So then I had to buy mulch, and then I had to buy weed killer, and then I had to buy another plant.
Then he forgot the garden hose. No,
I did. No, I did. I forgot the garden hose. I bought 2 big ass trees. And just
forgot what you went there for.
And I want you to picture this. I fill up my Cybertruck, right, at Lowe's. And I have these 2, like the biggest trees that they sell
Sticking out.
Yeah, so I have them sticking out the back of this Cybertruck. Kind of like how they have that old truck hauling a Christmas tree thing.
I've got
that's like what
a fake
this
one
was
at my house.
Yeah, well, that's what this was, except there were 2 trees and just 2 different types of trees. So people just kept looking real weird, like, what the hell's going on?
I don't know how to feel about this.
Well, and I also realized, so Betty had gotten spayed.
Yeah.
And when I picked her up from the vet, a realization came to me. And that is that sometimes when people see a Cybertruck, they don't realize that it's a truck.
Oh, yeah. I didn't until you lifted up the back part.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that until the vet helped me carry Betty out because I had dog food that I bought there too. And I was like, oh, let's put it in the back of the truck. And she's like, okay. She hauls it around and I push the tailgate button for the tailgate to pop down. And she's like, oh, I didn't realize it was a truck. And I was like,
yeah, I just thought they gave it that name. Yeah, it's Elon Musk.
That's
Who knows
true.
what that. Look at what he's named his children.
That's
Names
true.
don't mean shit.
That's so true. Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Bless their hearts.
You just push this button and the whole tailgate comes down and that whole topper retracts. So it's a big bed. So it's convenient if you're buying lots of flowers. But I filled my dang back of my truck up with those 2 trees and a bunch of flowers. And then I'm telling you,
Makes me so happy.
It's a process. I've spent so much money on this, Josh. And then I realized I forgot my damn water hose. And mind you, there's no Lowe's in my town.
No.
There's no Lowe's here in
And the
Wabash.
water hose selection is flimsy.
No, yeah. So
It's
I'm like,
those like bendy, collapsible.
and I also have a Lowe's credit card. So I get 5% off on top of all the deals that they have. So I'm like, oh, I got to go back to Lowe's. So I go back to Lowe's. This is like the 3rd visit, right? And
Each
of course,
time leaving with the truckload.
of flowers.
I know
and
how
all
it
this
is.
bull crap. Well, that time, this is so embarrassing because I'm processing through what happened as I tell you this story. But I get into where the garden hoses are, right? And all I was wanting was just a single garden hose. But then I thought, the reel that I have the garden hose on, it's old, it's plastic, it was
Yeah.
real cheap, and I was like,
Flimsy.
yeah, and it just doesn't tie well, and it's a mess. So I thought I'm just gonna get a new one. I'll just get a new one for over there, and it's not movable, so it just sits there. It's nice, Well, and then I thought, well, I'll get 2 water hoses because it fits a big one.
Right.
So I get 2 water hoses. And then I thought, well, if I'm doing this gardening stuff, I don't want to have to water my plants every day like we used to at our
I was
grandma's
waiting
house.
as soon as I knew you were getting plants, I was like, I wonder what kind of sprinkler system he's gonna.
So I got the soakers.
Oh yeah,
So very
that's
convenient.
the best way.
I love it. Like I was really nervous to get them because I've never used them, didn't know anything about them. And I'm like, I'm just going to get the 2 big kits and go to town.
Super easy. Put it
Yeah.
under the mulch.
Yeah, that's what I did. So I put it under the mulch. Well, as I said, Josh, this has been a process. So as I was getting ready to start on the extra flower beds on both sides of the house, I thought, man, this ground is so hard. I need to till it. But I don't have a tiller.
Right.
So I go to
Nor have you
Huntington.
used one.
Or have I ever used one since I was a child?
Right.
So I go to Huntington to this hardware store.
Oh my god.
And I
Get the
have
little tiller.
well, I have Ego Power is the brand of my riding mower, push mower, weed eater. Well, they have a tiller.
Oh.
It's like this wide, like a foot wide.
Like a little handheld.
Yeah, it's like a weed eater, but it's a tiller.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I love it. It is so nice because it's not heavy, but it's quick.
It's not like the table-sized
it's
ones
not shaking the piss out of it. Yeah. But it's really quick. I really like it. So I end up tilling both sides of the flower
look
bed.
at you.
And then, and the ground was just so hard, right?
We finally have a shared interest.
Yeah. So, then I thought, and this is when I sent you a text. I was like, what's the best way to get rid of weeds and prevent them or something like that? And you gave me some ideas. And
there's so many.
I know. And that's what was overwhelming.
It's hard to pick one.
I was like, do I put down trash bags or do I put down plastic? And I was like, but I really
even
hate
trash bags, I've used that and weeds have grown up through them. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. So I got some really strong weed killer stuff.
Well, the stuff I sent you, it's safe for the
plants.
groundwater, and if your pets get near it, it won't hurt them and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because, with dogs, I didn't know until I had dogs that
some plants are poisonous.
Ice salt, even in the winter, salt burns their paw pads. So I thought that pet safe ice salt. I was like, oh, that's in case they lick it or something.
Yeah.
I was like, no, my dog walked out I had just salted the thing and they're like, yipe, yipe. I was like, oh god.
Oh my god.
Poor that little Brutus dog.
Yeah. That's awful.
Yeah, even some of the plants. I'm glad you got a soaker because a lot of plants have to be watered from the ground. And if you get water on them, they can burn them when the sun hits them.
Well, when I bought the soakers, what I also bought was, mind you, I love this about my house. I have a water hose extension on 3 sides of my house.
So you don't have to drag it.
Yes, I love that. I actually forgot I had it because I only ever used the one. But then when I was doing the flower bed, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's another one here.
How convenient.
Yeah. So I was like, well, now I have to get, for these soakers, I got the automated hose water
Yeah, the timer thing.
Yeah, yeah. And it's real nice because it hooks up to Wi-Fi and stuff, so I can always monitor it. But it's, oh my gosh, so convenient. So now they're both laid. Both flower beds are done. I have plants in all of them. And I've ran that soaker thing through all of them. But then I was like, well, it kind of beats the purpose that I have these dang soakers if I still have to water these dang new trees.
Oh, yeah.
So I got 2 new water hoses in addition, just cheap ones. And I have them running off of the soakers out of the flower bed and to the trees.
Oh, good.
And then I got some additional soakers that just circles the tree. But I got it to where I can move them to mow, move that hose off the grass to mow, so that I can put it back and then put it around. Because that's a week worth of watering that I don't have to do it.
And trees They take so much
Yeah,
water.
yeah. So I
So
was like,
much.
this will be ideal, and it's worked perfectly.
That's
I
why I
love that. I
like
love it.
I have a lot of plants on my porch, but I have, just a short little hose, but I can reach everything. Like
Mm,
I've had, large yards where you have to drag the hose clear through the back 40
mhm,
to go water your tomatoes. There is a giant greenhouse in Peru right
mm,
by the reservoir, like right down the road from the campground.
yeah,
And we'll have to go. It's like two or three, it's like three giant, huge greenhouses. It's like in the middle of nowhere, but it's this like, I was pleasantly surprised when I first went there because I just Googled greenhouses. So I
yeah,
was like, oh, this one's right, down the road, expecting, just where it's isolated at. I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, it's probably just someone's, personal greenhouse that
Right.
they." No, I pulled up, it was a giant barn that they have weddings in and
Oh,
huge greenhouses just full of stuff. I
that's
was like,
crazy. That's beautiful. Well, if you noticed when you drove to my house today, did you see on my front porch I got some furniture?
"Yeah."
So I went out to Squirrel Creek in the middle because I'm like, man, I have such a nice gardens, and I was
I
like,
was wondering when you were gonna
but
put chairs out there.
yeah, and it's a nice covered porch, and I was like, I need some couple chairs, a little table, something,
Yeah.
and so I was like, well, I'll go out to Squirrel Creek because they have like all the stuff.
It's
I
the
remember seeing
Amish,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
You want something that's gonna last.
yeah, and it's expensive, but it will last a long time. So I went out there. Have you been to their greenhouse this year?
No.
Massive. I mean, it's crazy all the type of flowers and trees they have. I mean, it is crazy big.
I don't generally go there unless I'm with you guys. It's not a place I feel comfortable going
Oh,
alone.
sure.
Just
Sure.
the
Well, the
I
gardens
know the
are a
Amish will
lot
be
different.
not polite to me,
Yeah.
but I I just know that they don't. Like the last time I went there, I forget we were recording and I had makeup
Oh,
on and
yeah. Yeah.
I even had my pearls and everything and I was just
My
like,
pearls.
it's not that I am afraid that they'll be hateful to me. I just know that they don't like it and I
Yeah.
don't want to make them uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. And it
That's
would be
my
weird.
anxiety. It's never like, "Oh, I'm gonna piss them off." It's like, "Oh, I don't wanna make someone uncomfortable."
That's funny.
Even though I'm uncomfortable 24/7. No.
Kim's almost here. She's just a
Good
few minutes away.
gracious.
I know, 4
Then
minutes.
it's gonna take her a minute to
She's
come
gotta go
down. She'll have to go
pee.
potty.
I've already printed off her paper, so she doesn't have that excuse either. Oh, so as my neighbor, super
Oh,
sweet
yeah.
people. I believe they're both retired. They're at that age. They're both retired. And as I've talked about before, he is like over the top on his yard.
Oh, super, super.
But he has been watching me outside for the past week, like do all this work. And I think that he is just tickled to the bone, just so tickled. And I was out there doing some work and he comes over. And I mean, I've never seen him so tickled, so happy. And he's
You
just
finally
like,
doing something.
yeah, he's like, hey, I bought a big old truckload of mulch and I've used all that I need. I have no other purpose for the rest of it, but I have to get rid of it because I'm getting my blacktop sealed.
I drove by it too, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. And he covers it at night too.
Oh, bless him.
So he's like, just take all that you want because I have to get rid of it. And I'm like, okay. So for like the 12th time this week, I go to Lowe's and I'm like, because first of all, I don't have a wheelbarrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not hauling a bucket over to his house and over to mine. I'm not doing none of that. And I didn't have anything to put it in. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to go get like
A pull behind.
a pull behind for my mower. Yeah. So I go and I'm getting sidetracked from all these stories, but I'm telling you. So I go to Lowe's.
No, I love it. You're excited about
Yeah.
yard work.
And
I'm like,
the Lowe's I went to this time, I keep splitting them between the Lowe's in Marion, Kokomo, and Warsaw, just so they don't get too used to me. Be like, oh, it's
Right.
that guy again
again?
with that truck. But anyway, so I get there. As soon as I get into the garden section, all these police cars show up.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Well, I asked one of the employees, I was like, hey, what's happening? They wouldn't say what was going on.
Right.
And I'm like, are they getting robbed? Do I need to run? Do I need to hide? Do I need to push down some people and like, get out of here? Like, what do I need to do? But I couldn't get anything out of them. And I asked another employee as I was checking out, and they said they weren't allowed to talk about it. I was
Oh,
like, okay,
shit.
well, whatever. So I was like, hey, I want to buy one of those wagons out there. And the lady's like, okay, cool. Well, you can go on out there and grab it. Well, I go out there and grab it, and they got those suckers locked up like a bike. Like they're all, that
The
chain
little-
running through
yeah.
everything. And I'm like, all right,
People be
whatever.
crazy. They'll steal anything.
Right. Well, this guy saw me out there hanging around the mowers and stuff, and he's like, oh, you need that? And I'm like, yeah, I've already bought it. Here's my receipt. And he's like, well, let me go get the key for that trailer. And I'm like, okay, cool. So he comes back out, like after 10 minutes, it felt like. And he's like, so the manager says that he has to come out and unlock it for you. And I'm like, okay, well, I just have all the time in the world right now. I could just
They
wait.
have walkie-talkies.
Right.
Like, good God.
So I'm out there waiting and waiting. And it's like 30 minutes later, the manager hasn't come out yet, but there's another employee coming out to get some carts and stuff. And so I spark up a conversation with him as I'm patiently waiting. And I was like, what's taking so long? Is everything okay? You know, and I'm like fishing
Oh, yeah.
for some information.
What's going on here?
And, you know, I learned that from the Baptists as we were growing up
yeah.
from our childhood.
You just keep feeding the fish,
Yeah,
so
you
eventually
they'll bite.
Yeah.
So
that was the most Southern Baptist thing I think we've ever said.
that was. So he's like, yeah. And so we was having a conversation, and before I know it, he just slips it on out about what was going on.
Ooh.
And apparently there was these two men who started arguing in the store. And I don't know what the hell you'd be arguing at Lowe's.
It's my 2x4.
Well, and it's one thing to argue, and I still don't understand the argument, but that's okay. But it's a whole other thing because
Home remodels get people in their feelings.
Right. But one of the guys punches the other guy in the face, and the other guy passed out.
Jesus.
So they called cops, the
Assault.
ambulance. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole thing. Guy gets arrested, and there's blood everywhere. But I mean, crazy. So he's like telling me all this, and I could kind of tell like he was processing it still because he just hadn't. It doesn't. I mean, this is a young guy. He
Right.
wasn't. He's not lived.
This is just a part-time gig.
Yeah, yeah. So he's telling me all this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so awful. Do you know their names? You know, I'm just trying to get some more, whatever I can get. Well, finally, the manager comes out.
What car they drive?
Right. The manager comes out, and he's like, hey, I'll meet you over by the trailers. Oh, hi, Kim.
Oh, I see you waiting on me.
We waited
Oh,
for
yeah.
you. Look,
We're already 20 minutes in.
we told all the listeners that you lost some weight. Do you see what's in your chair?
Oh.
She's sure.
Or do you gotta go pee now?
gotta pee.
Okay.
Bloody.
Okay, but anyway, Josh, so to finish my story, the manager comes out, and he's like, all right, I'll meet you over by the trailers. And I'm standing next to this
What you
little
bought,
trailer.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, what trailers are you talking about? This
It's
is
right here,
what I
dude.
want. Yeah. And he's like, oh, you bought that? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I've been waiting for 45 minutes for it.
Standing
Damn
next
it.
to it.
Yeah, with no chairs.
I would be sitting in it.
Yeah, right.
Paid for
I'd be
it.
laying there. Yeah. Well, he goes, oh, I'll unlock that for you real quick. He's like, I would have given the key to what's his face. I'll call him Fred. I would have given the keys to Fred, but he said trailer, and I just assumed you bought one of the big trailers up in the front. And I was like,
Jesus Christ.
error in communication.
You know what they say
101.
about assuming, sir?
Right. Well, he didn't even look at my receipt. Didn't care that I had a receipt.
Jesus. Why lock them up then? Jesus.
Well, Josh, thankfully, I'm an honest person because a thought crossed through my mind when he's like, which one of them did you buy?
this big
There was a big one and there was a small one. And I was so close to be like, the big one.
You made me wait 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If it was me, I would have went in and bought a pair of bolt cutters and already been gone.
Well, and in all honesty, like I'm acting like I'm a good person, and that's why I didn't tell him the big one. But I was also afraid that I wouldn't fit in the back of my truck because I bought more flowers and more mulch and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I'd hate to lie and
Hate
then
to
get the big one
lie.
and then it won't fit. You know?
Now, like corporate robbery is something I don't feel guilty about.
Right. Huh?
Once you put it down, does it need to go up?
I mean, sit back and I'll tell you if it needs to go up. Look, she comes in here all bossy.
Well, you should have waited on me.
Well, if you were here on time, no, I think it's fine. It cuts off half your head, but I mean, that's okay with me.
It looks better.
Yeah. You've lost some weight.
I say corporate robbery is fine with me. Not saying that I shoplift, but if there's a bigger option available for free,
Yeah, that's how I felt.
I'll act naive about
Well,
it.
I was honest, and I got the right one.
Now you look at you making more trips than you have to.
Well, it was really nice to have it because the thing about mulch, I underestimate how much I need.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
You'll
oh,
learn. Even with like plants, like I remember when I first started, I bought a shit ton and I was broke, so I didn't have like the sprinkler money. So it was all hand
the
watering.
soaker money.
And you plant them and you're like, okay, this looks good. And then you get to the heat of summer where it's just no rain and your plants
Oh,
are
yeah.
just baking all day and you have to water them twice a day and you're like lugging that jug around. You're like, I overshot it this
That's
year.
funny. That's funny.
Well, hi, Kim.
Oh,
Did you see all Shane's landscaping?
I did. It looks really good.
He did it himself.
yes.
I saw
I've
him
been
do
yarding.
it.
I'm so proud.
I've been
It
yarding.
looks
I
really good.
honestly, I didn't know till I saw you doing it yourself. I was like, either he did it or he's got
That's all, man.
he's got him a little landscape.
Well, I'm telling you, I guess I keep adding more projects. So every time I go back to Lowe's, I'm like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. I
you
need
got
to do
2
this.
acres. That's a lot.
And I had mulch
You can
from
have
the
an
neighbor,
orchard.
and I still have some extra bags that I bought. So I've been using all my neighbors' mulch. Well, yesterday, I was so exhausted. Like working in the yard, I just get so exhausted after hours, and I got sunburned.
It
But
feels
anyway,
so good after that shower,
Yeah.
though.
so I'm like, I've wanted for a long time to fix up and clean up the trees I have in the back. Like in the back by the field,
There's
are
like
there's a
one
line
dead
of trees.
one and-
There were 3 dead ones.
Oh, damn.
I never even
There's a lot of
noticed.
trees back
The
there,
little
but they're
pines.
little small. But if you go back there, they're tall. They're taller than me, but they look small
Oh, really?
from up here. Yeah. But I don't have a chainsaw. And I'm like, well, I need to get rid of those dead ones, right? So I'm like, I thought, I'm at Lowe's and I thought, I'll just buy an axe. And I was axing down. Like, how hard could that
Should
be?
have bought one of them handheld little
I should have. But
accents.
there are things that, like, I don't know why I'm like this, but there are things that I'll splurge money on.
Oh no, I
And then there are things that I'm just cheap as shit.
I've done that.
And
When I
and I looked at the price of like Ego Power, which is the brand of everything else I have,
Yeah.
has a handheld chainsaw.
little,
Yeah,
just
but-
perfect for.
And I was like, oh, I could get that. It's like $150 maybe. I don't know. I'm making that up. But I'm thinking 150. And I thought, but this is the only use I have for it because I don't have any other big trees. And I thought, I'm not spending $150 to take down these 3 small little bitty trees.
You know, if you'd
After an hour of
asked
accent,
somebody,
you were like $150.
Oh,
is
yeah.
a deal.
Well, I got an axe. An axe, I don't know, it was $20, I guess. And I got home. And I thought I want to clean up that whole thing. So I went out there. I'm telling you, I wish that someone was there to take a picture. I'm down on the ground, like on my stomach,
God.
underneath these trees, pulling out these weeds. Because these grass things like go all the way up and it pisses me
yeah.
off. So I'm down there, I'm like pulling
Ripping.
that. And then I get a rake and I'm like, scraping up the ground to flatten it because it had built up. And then I'm like, well, let me go grab the cutter. And I used one of the branch cutters. And I'm like, I'm going to cut off some of the branches at the bottom so it doesn't collect down there. So it cleans it up real nice. So I cut some branches off the bottoms. Mind you, when you look at that tree line, you probably think, oh, there's probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 trees out there.
There's
There's
lot.
like 20. It's a lot. And each one of them takes
I
a
remember
lot of
mowing
work.
around them. And you're
Yeah.
like, good Lord.
How many of these are? Yeah.
I never
So-
even paid any attention that there was that many trees in the
Yeah, they're all
backyard.
those pine trees. So, and they're big, but they don't look that big from all the way up here because they're in the back. So I'm back there on my hands, knees, stomach, doing all this work.
Oh, I would have given money
Oh
to
my
see
God.
that.
You should ask for
And-
help. I would
No
have left.
kidding.
And then I got some like shrub weed killer that
Oh,
you put
yeah.
down around shrubs. And so I put that down and then
I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah, it's so nice. And then I put down some mulch. And I mean, it looks great now. I'm tickled to the bone. But then after I do all that, I mean, I started at noon 2 days ago, I think. And by 6 o'clock, I finished that piece. And then
Oh,
I
yeah.
needed to use the axe to take down those 3 dead trees. And I'm telling you, there were times when I thought, I don't even know if I have the strength to walk back up to my house
Oh, yeah.
after using that damn axe.
But then you'll be out there the next day like, oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, and I kept thinking, I'm just going to give up for the day. But then I knew that if I don't finish it, I'm not going to because it's miserable work.
I get hyper focused to where like you don't want to leave something unfinished.
Yeah.
Especially
You
you're
want to
like,
see it done.
oh, I'm already dirty. I've got everything
Yeah.
out here. I'll like work until the sun's like down where it's
Yeah.
like, I can't see. I got to quit.
I will work until I can't see very much more out of my sunglasses.
Is that what you were doing yesterday when you texted me and you said you just gotten in?
No, I was working downtown.
Oh, you
I
were
left
downtown.
at like 9. Well, so I explained this to Josh a minute ago.
Of course, but see, you didn't wait for me to get here.
We hadn't
We
recorded yet. We hadn't recorded. So this
okay.
is the first time our listeners are hearing me say this. But in the last week's farmer's market, which I helped with, the tent broke. So we had to rig it.
Wait,
Tint.
thank you.
Tent. What'd you think I said? Tent?
Tit.
Sound like
No,
tit.
the tit.
I like the
tent.
titty, bro.
I'm like, the
The-
tit broke. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
that
Well,
sounds horrible.
If the titty broke, it would make this next part awkward.
Done pop my titty.
So because the tent broke at one of the legs because you had to push in those pins and then pull it up. Well, the pin went in and it wouldn't come out. It was an innie, not an outie.
Yes. Try spitting on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So at that point in time, we're setting up this dang tent and this leg just won't stay up because that pin won't come out. And so we're like, well, what are we going to do? Because we don't have another tent. And it was like the sun was beating. It was hot. So we're not going to have a tent. So on the spur of the moment, I grab a pin and stick it in that hole.
Like an ink pen.
An ink pen. And it wouldn't stay there. So then I found string and like tied it all around that pin.
You
tied it around
MacGyvered
that
it.
pole. Oh, rigged that sucker. And it stayed. I mean, it worked. But I kept telling myself all week that when I leave work today, I have to go find and buy a new tent for Saturday, which was today. Well, last night I left downtown at 9 o'clock. It was probably closer to 8. Anyway, I left downtown around 8 or 9. And as I about pull into my house, I thought,
Tent.
gosh, dang it, I forgot a stupid tent. And I was like, I'm just going to go out to Walmart because it's the only thing open in town right now and see if they have one. And they had one.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Especially after Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Didn't you buy one once?
A vendor tent?
Yeah.
No, why would I have a vendor tent?
You might be thinking
know.
about our big wall we use for like crime.
Yeah.
Because it
I got
it
that.
looks
I
like
don't have a vendor tent.
I could have sworn you
I've
bought
never
one for
set
some
up
reason.
outside.
I thought you had gotten one
You
for
don't
like
do
the
outside.
the chili cook-off.
No, not not
okay.
me. No, they have 2 of them. No. But yeah, so that's why I was out there late, Kim. But so I finished the trees, take the axe, I did all that stuff. And I was telling Josh, Kim, that I got soakers, like soaker hoses, and I put it underneath the mulch that you see so I don't have to water anything.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then I got some more flowers to put in the pots.
He's leaking. He's soaking
Now,
wet.
soaking wet. Now the
I'm
last
having a rough time here.
Story of her life.
Okay.
now the last thing that I have to do, the last big project.
An orchard.
No, but that's not a bad idea.
Vineyard?
Some blueberry bushes.
I'd love some
You
blueberries.
you should plant a bunch of
There's a big old
different
space right out
cherry
there.
tree
Yeah, I
and
have a big area.
some
but
fruit trees.
Farmer
this
Shane.
last project is I want to redo my mailbox.
I
So
saw
I
that.
bought a new mailbox to replace this one. And the wooden post is nice out there, but it needs some TLC. And I forgot to get something to sand it down with or to wash it. So I need to probably go back to Lowe's for the 50th time this week to get something. But I'm going to sand it down and then I'm going to paint it and then put a new mailbox on.
Where's the
Awesome.
closest Lowe's?
Marion.
Because I keep having to go back to Lowe's, there's one in Marion, there's one in Kokomo, there's one
Oh,
in
that's
Warsaw.
right. I forgot about the one
He
in
keeps
Marion.
alternating.
Yeah, because I don't want them to get too used to me.
Did
They
you
don't
see
want
his
them to know you by name.
trees?
Did you see my new
No.
trees? There's one in the front that you would have just went right by.
It's
Is it-
about 3 Kims high.
Yeah. And then in the
How did I
backyard,
not see that?
I don't know.
It's
Then
not the one that's in
one in
that
the
pot
backyard.
that's sitting by the front porch, right?
No, it's like a
No,
tree.
it's
that
a
one looks
big
like
ass
it's
tree.
dead.
A tree in
Well,
the yard.
Yeah, it's a big ass tree. So the plant you're talking about, I actually bought it for the mailbox to go out by the mailbox, and it's a perennial. But it's real unhappy
Yeah,
that it's not been planted yet. So
Put
I
some water down in that bucket.
I
Yeah.
planted it. Well, I had extra dirt that I'm not using, so I put that into that big pot thing, and I planted it in that, and then I put some water and stuff in it. So it should be more happier now. But I'm hoping
it
to
does
do
not
that.
look very happy at all.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it will survive until tomorrow because that's when I'm going to work on that mailbox.
Man, come on, Lupa. That's what I like to do is I go to the dented plant section, the clearance section at Lowe's or Menards or wherever.
Dented plant.
Well, they're like half dead plants, but they're like for just a few bucks. I like to
I did that.
I feel bad for them.
Yeah, I did buy one.
And
Yeah, I did buy one at Lowe's. I saw that section.
yeah, that's
There
what
was-
Grandma, how she got a lot of her plants is they throw them away and she'd go dumpster diving and get half dead plants.
Well, there's some plant over there. There's a lot of plants, so I'm not sure which one it was, but it smelled like marijuana.
Oh, yeah, some of them do.
I was like, oh my gosh, what is that smell? And I'm the only person over there. And I realized that it's a plant that's over there.
I bought some lemon balm at that greenhouse in Peru, and I've got it right behind my chair where I sit on my porch. And it smells so good. It smells like just
love a good
the
lemon.
best fresh lemony scent.
Did you see on the side of my house? And on both
We'll have
sides of
to
my
do a
house?
walk around.
Yeah,
do
we're
a
going to
walk
have to because
around.
I did not pay any
Yeah.
attention.
We'll do a walk
I
around,
had-
maybe a reach around. And
There we go.
I had one thing on my mind, and that was to get in here because you were
Pee.
complaining because I wasn't here fast enough for you. And
we need you to
So there.
come quicker, Kim. Come quicker for us.
well, I didn't leave until a little bit later than what I said I was going to leave.
I know. I went to
Wait
leave
up.
at 10:15, and you're like, I just left my house. And the whole time I thought, I'm going to have to get home quick because they're probably waiting on me.
I told you I wasn't even going to leave until the time you were supposed to be leaving so you could come home and relax
Well,
and
if-
change if you wanted to.
if
and
you said that, which you may have, I'm not saying you didn't
Josh?
say it.
She did, but she
Thank
did
you.
say she would leave about 10. So I left about 10 till 11.
well, it takes me an hour and
Yeah,
a half.
we were here,
hour
and
and
I was
45
like,
minutes
she's not
to get
even
here.
gotten to Wabash yet. So I was like, let's just turn this on. Josh,
I was
and
down the
start
road and
talking.
you were like, I'm almost to Marion, which is still about half an hour
Yeah.
away from here.
From Wabash.
I was like,
this
what?
is another 10 or 15 minutes up this way.
I went and did a lap around the country. I was like, well, it's such a lovely morning. I was like, well, drove around, saw someone setting up a country wedding in their yard. I was like, oh,
that's cute.
how nice.
If on a good
quaint.
day, I could get here in at about an hour and 35 minutes or so. But usually I need to stop and grab me a bite to eat or stop and get gas so I'm usually pushing an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours to get here.
Takes me about an hour and 15, but I don't stop unless absolutely necessary. Like anytime Mom goes to Muncie with me, she knows like you better have water, you better have a snack with you because
And I'm 30
You better
minutes.
pee.
unless it's dire.
Right. And I'm 30 minutes from Muncie. So
Oh yeah. Well, I'll be almost to my friend's house and I'll be sitting there like bouncing because I gotta pee so bad. I'm like, ooh, because I'll be fine until I get almost to where I'm going, and then it's like you're almost there, so you start
When
to
I
relax.
get where I'm going.
You'll be only happy tears.
about the time I hit Wabash, I'm like, oh man, I gotta go. I gotta pee.
Capital.
Well, who wants to have today's mystery? We've been talking for 40 minutes.
I'll let Kim because those are probably shorter than mine.
The last one was yours anyway, Josh. So, and since Shane,
You get America now.
yeah, they're black and pink.
Oh, they look red, white, and blue in this light from over here.
No, they're black and pink. Actually, I've had them for a couple weeks. So,
Pretty.
Nice.
yeah, they
I
should
did
have
a
been the
nice-
last time we were here.
Mother of pearl.
Oh, nice.
Shimmery.
I have one more week before I get them done again. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I've been real into making my nails look like natural things, like stones or moss or mother of pearl is my favorite. I'm that type of old lady. I'm like, oh, mother of pearl. Nothing too flashy, just a
I
little.
don't remember where I was at the other day, but there was a guy that had like neon
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're so
Oh, that's
pretty.
cool.
Yeah, they were really pretty.
Neon just don't work with me. I think anybody that has freckles and a lot of redness to their skin, neon is just like, oh, too much. Too much. You're
That's funny.
too pale for that, honey. You're
Too
glowing
pale.
enough.
Too pale. All right. So we're going to do something a little bit different today.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm not going to do a mystery today.
I
I'm
ain't
sorry.
taking my clothes off.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Not
not doing a
again.
mystery. Yeah, no mystery today. So I don't know about you guys, but during the summer, that's when I like to watch my documentaries because
yeah.
all of my shows are over for the summer. You can't, and it's just the reruns. If I've watched them all, why watch the reruns?
Docu-girl summer.
Yeah. So all of my summer I spend with my documentaries. Well, I pulled one up the other day and I started watching it and I'm like, oh, this is what I should do. I should make a list of documentaries that I want to watch and let everybody know because this documentary that I started, I had no idea even existed. And I was very surprised when I even found it. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know they made this. So I was very excited. So I'm going to tell you about that one first, even though I did have it for later down in the
I was just
in the
looking
thing,
up
but-
documentaries last night. I was in a
Was you?
documentary mood. I was like, ooh, I ended up with stand-up comedy instead.
Okay, so the one that I found that I was very excited about, do you remember who Paul Rubin is?
Yeah,
Name sounds
from
very familiar.
American Idol. Oh, that's Ruben.
Paul
Ruben
Rubin.
Stutter or something like that.
Yeah.
He was
No.
Pee-wee.
Oh, that's
Pee-wee
right.
from Pee-wee's
Okay.
Playhouse.
That's right.
He done a documentary before he passed
I've heard
away.
about that.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, it was like they at the
It
beginning
came
of
out
it.
posthumously, though, didn't it? Like after he died.
Yes.
Yeah, because
he
he
came
died.
out in
it
it.
just came out,
Okay.
and he died a couple years ago.
Yeah, I
maybe?
believe he was filming for it even the day before he died.
That could have been. I know they put at the beginning of it that he had passed away before it was ever released, and they interviewed him for 40 hours.
Wow.
40 hours is what they talked to him to.
I
get
don't know that I'd have
documentary.
enough to say.
Not at this
For
point.
40
but
hours?
I'm intrigued by it because
I want to watch
I
it.
love learning about like gay men throughout the past, like especially like I mean, he didn't come out until after he died. And like
Right.
just I'm very intrigued about the type of life he lived. I know he
I don't even know that I
was
knew that he was.
I knew he was arrested in that public theater, back in the day. That was
Yeah,
where,
and
where gays were.
I only got a little bit into it, and then it got too late, and I was too tired. I haven't been able to get back to it. But he said that the whole reason he did it is because he wanted to address just like two things. And I'm wondering if one of those was that.
Well, I mean, people were like, he's a pervert. Like
Yeah.
growing up, like we weren't even allowed to watch Pee Wee Herman because, oh no, he's a pervert, sexual, queer, blah, 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 whatever words they were using. And
He didn't come out until I was a little bit older, but I still loved to sit and watch him. I loved his show. His
I
show
would
was
at
so
our
much fun.
dad's. Him and I loved when Elvira was on, when they would do special, because they were like in real life really good friends.
Yeah. So that documentary is on Max.
Okay.
Yeah. So Max is where that one's at. So I'm excited to finish
Yeah, I
it.
need to watch that.
Yeah. There is a couple of them on here that I have watched. I think one of them's actually for Unmasked, but
Growing up, we used to watch, I can't remember the name. It was the clown girl, and she would do like the stretches on
The Big
her.
Comfy Couch.
Yeah,
yeah.
there we go.
oh snap, I forgot what her name was. Amber loved
Yeah.
the comfy couch.
Well, I always thought that she was like
Lunette.
Pee Wee's daughter.
I think it was
I
Lunette.
Thought, I thought they were like, it was
Yeah,
the
I
same
can see that.
universe. Like I thought like, oh, Pee Wee's for adults and she's
Right.
for us
Yeah.
kids.
Or I think her name was Lunette the clown.
Yes. And I even had like her doll, like I had a stuffed version of her doll.
We would do the 10-second tidy every night before Amber would go to bed because
Oh,
she
yeah.
loved that show so much.
That's where our cleanliness
Yeah.
Right.
And she would do the clock stretches every time she'd do the clock stretches, and then she'd do the 10-second tidy every night before she went to bed.
I saw a thing the other day. It was a picture of her, Lunette, doing the clock stretches, and it said, people ask us millennials why we freaks, but Lunette been teaching us how to bend it back since day one.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. All right, so I found another one called Left for Dead. It's on Tubi. Have you ever heard of Tubi?
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, it's a free one.
Not my lord on Tubi.
So it's about two families that are fighting to find their missing loved one, and then they shed light on missing Black Americans nationwide.
Oh, yeah.
So
cool.
I thought that would be really good to see. I mean, it's a media thing that they always show all the pretty white girls that have gone, and
Right.
but not
Anybody of color
Any
or any
color,
other
yeah.
race. It's
yeah. So that makes me really angry. So I can't wait to see this one. I just think it would be really good.
I always do get a laugh whenever it's like, so even documentaries, you get people who say this, but it's all the time on the news. When someone goes missing or someone's murdered, she was just so beautiful, young,
lit up a
14-year-old girl named Susie Q. And every time I hear that about how beautiful these people are, I'm just thinking, well, Kim, don't get murdered because no one's going to care but your ass. This real ugly white woman who
I
looks
ain't never met
pissy
no-
all
I
the
really
time.
wanna
I ain't
say
never met
something?
no nice 14-year-old girl either. If they're honest, be like, we were afraid of her.
Yeah.
She terrified us.
I would say something to you, but this isn't unmasked, so I can't say it.
Bless.
So
Well, I would tell you to remember
We'd
it
add-
for Unmasked, but you would forget.
We'd
Yeah.
ad-lib it too,
I'm
whatever
sure
you
you
said.
can.
Right?
Yeah, I'm sure you can really guess what I was going to say to you, but that's okay.
Kim's case would go cold. cold.
So there's one called "Don't Die." A man wants to live forever.
I
I've
like
heard
that
about
It's
that
on
one.
Netflix.
He spent
Oh,
like
it's
a
the guy.
fortune on.
Yes. His name is Brian Johnson. He's a wealthy entrepreneur. He puts his body and his fortune on the line to defy aging and to extend his life beyond all limits.
Ugh, why? Life is long enough. Oh, Lord.
I thought it sounded interesting.
No,
Oh,
it
yeah.
does.
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean, I
watch
would
it.
watch it, but just to want to live forever.
Yeah, I feel like I would just be more making.
I thought about that. You know, when you watch vampire movies, you'll sometimes think like, what would living forever truly be like? And, I kind of spiral down and add too much detail to things. And I'm like, man, I would probably, I'd be okay for the first few decades. But after like 100 years on top of how old I am already, I'd be so bored. You can only travel so eventually you've seen everything, done everything. I'd be walking into that sun.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I've
definitely
slept
wouldn't
with
wanna
every
live
type of
forever.
man in the world. Like, there's
I'll be lucky to
nothing-
make it past 70, but okay.
70. Look at her reaching for the
70?
stars.
No kidding.
Reaching.
Hey, I'm 50, almost 57
And you
now.
don't take care of yourself?
You do have longevity in your family, though, didn't
Yes.
you?
My grandpa was 94.
And he
Which
was
is-
also thin and healthy.
Which, I mean,
He wasn't that healthy.
for a man,
Well,
he
he
had
was-
a lot of problems.
Yeah, but he was thin.
Yeah, he was thinner.
And
for a man to live to be
But
90
my grandparents on the other side, they lived quite old too, and I'm built after them. I have that gene.
we're about 50-50. Either
They
we go
were.
in our 50s or you stick around to
you got your genes from your.
Mary Queen
I
of
got that
Scots.
gene from that side of the family for that I'm heavier.
Oh, so that gene makes you hungry and you want sweets.
I don't eat a lot of sweets.
Well, no, genes. I mean, sometimes I look at our family and I'm like, we know how to breed them big, don't we? We know. Well, our cousin was born 11 pounds. We just
Right.
come out thick.
Thick and heavy.
Thick and heavy.
And he was 12 months early.
I think this next one, Shane, you would really like to watch because you were at Auschwitz. This is called Unbroken. It's also on Netflix. It's a daughter from a Holocaust survivor. She uncovers the amazing story of her mom and 6 siblings that escaped Nazi Germany. I thought that one sounded really
I
good.
just have to be careful with those documentaries because I guess like the political climate right now is heavy. And so I just don't know how much I can stomach on
Especially with,
these real emotional ones right now.
especially when you're like,
And I did see another
you'll
one.
read something that happened long ago and you're like, oh, this is currently happening right now.
There was another one that I seen that was from Auschwitz, but I didn't put it on my list.
I don't think Auschwitz is the one that I went to.
I thought it was
was.
Dachau, or I can't remember.
Dachau.
There's so many of them. That's the one I remember. Dachau.
Dachau? They might have been Dachau.
I only remember that
For some
because
reason, I thought it was Auschwitz.
there's a Family Guy episode where
I'm looking it up. Hold on. I was in Munich.
You get a new phone
Munich,
case every time I
Germany.
see you. I've never seen anybody get it. You get new phone cases as much as
I have
Kim
4,
updates
and I just
her.
rotate through them.
They're like Kim's Facebook profile picture.
Hey, I finally figured out that there's a thing that I can click anytime I change it that it won't.
It's DocO.
Notify people.
That it won't notify people. Yeah.
It'll do that for your profile picture, but not your background. And that's when I'm like, I don't want people to know. Like, the background for me is just for me. Because I'm like, how many people are actively coming to my page?
Right.
It's just for me to see. So I'm like, I don't want to notify
I guess
people.
I didn't realize that. They couldn't see that one. I don't know. So I found another one called The Thief Collector. It's on Peacock. Peacock. In 1985, William de Koont's painting was sliced from its frame and stolen from the walls of the Arizona Art Museum, disappearing into the desert. Over 30 years later, in a remote town in New Mexico, the $160 million painting was rediscovered in the most unlikely of places. I want to know where the crap it was.
Yeah, we'll have to
Probably in
watch
the
that.
attic.
You know what we should do with this list? Let's put it on Patreon, and then everyone watch all of them with us over time, over
that would be
a
fun.
couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then we rank them
Oh,
that would be
of
real
like
good.
our favorite, and maybe we even like which one surprised us the most.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
That's a really good
fun.
idea.
Yeah,
I like that
I
idea.
think it'd be fun.
We could do like one episode per week
Yeah,
or
that makes
per
me
2
want to
weeks or
go
whatever.
thrift shopping looking for art. That's
yeah. And what we can do is just like on a scale of 1 to 10, ask all of our patrons after you watch it, just comment on this post and let us know what you rank it as 1 to 10.
I like
And
that.
at the end, we'll talk on here about what everyone ranked
This
it
one will
as.
go out
Yes.
next week. So once this goes out, we'll start doing that.
Yeah.
We'll
I
just
like
start
it
at the
because
front or top.
that way we can have like active conversations
Yeah.
with them. Because our normal episodes, we give a mystery that they might not have heard about.
Yeah.
But this, if we all watch it, we can all. You remember? Oh, girl! Like
Yeah.
when we talk about Bridgerton, which I just rewatched.
Haven't we done a watch along before? Or was that
I've done
you
it for Foul
with
Play.
I
That's
think
what
we
I thought.
did for
Yeah.
one of our sleep, but didn't we watch something, a movie, or I honestly can't remember.
It's been a long time if we did. I
I've
don't remember
slept
watching
since
a movie.
then.
No. Yeah, I don't remember watching a movie.
So there's the next one. I try to get them on different platforms because not everybody has the same platforms. However, there is a lot that's from Netflix because I think really Netflix has the best ones.
Yeah,
There's one called The Quilters. It's on Netflix.
I put that on my list just last night.
Did you? Yeah, it's about men in a Missouri maximum security prison. They design and sew beautiful quilts for foster children.
No, that's cool.
It's only like 30 minutes long. It's not very
It's
long,
not bad.
but I think it would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
That's the type of prisoner rehabilitation I'm all about. Like, let's get them out of the system. And now they're not only helping themselves, but helping kids. Beautiful. Can they make me a jock strap or a G-string?
So on Peacock, The Imposter. Now, this is a filmmaker, Bart Layton, chronicles the tales of Frederick. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I'm not sure, but he was a con artist who tricked a family in Texas to believing he was a relative who had disappeared years earlier.
Jesus. I'm still laughing about Tubi. Have you guys seen that? It's some black lady comedian, and she had been watching this black version of the story of Jesus Christ on Tubi. And they had cast the man as Jesus as this large man. He was a very heavy man, just,
like fat.
yeah. And, Jesus is shirtless and most of it. I mean, he's like in
God.
robes and
Boy.
stuff. And it just shows the scene of like him carrying the cross. And this comedian, she was like, Tubi, you gotta be playing. Not my Lord. Not my Lord. Oh, here, Jesus Christ. He looked like Jethro Christ. He looked like he done ate all the fishes and the loaves. It was so funny.
I have an obsession with the Titanic for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
And anything that I can find Titanic, I will watch.
Same.
Disney Plus has a new one on called Titanic, The Digital Resurrection. So they use cutting edge scanning technology and state of the art CGI and a team of experts. They produce the first high resolution 3D digital twin of the wreck of the Titanic.
See, I like this because I'm not fully supportive of like going down there and messing with it. I think if people want to risk going down to view it, that's
It's a
on
grave.
them. But yeah, that's how and not like that long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over 100 years, but that's not, these,
Right.
even though their bones have disintegrated, this is still the
where they
grave of
died.
a lot of
Yeah.
people. So I don't feel that,
It's dangerous.
especially, back in the 90s when the movie came out, they were bringing up shit from it. But I feel like our climate has changed where it's like, we've got enough memorabilia from the ship and the wreckage. Let's leave
Did you know that there was a museum, a Titanic museum in Cincinnati, like the one in Tennessee?
No.
I did not know that either until our buddy Trevor, he had messaged me and asked me if we had ever been to the one in
Yeah, they
Cincinnati.
went bowling there.
And I'm like, we've been to Cincinnati. I didn't know they had one like that, but we've been to the one in Tennessee, and it was really cool.
I've never been to any of them. I need to go.
It was
It
really
is
cool.
good.
And when you go into the museum, they give you a card that has the name of a real passenger that was on it.
Ooh.
And then it tells you about that.
Let you know if you survive or
It doesn't tell you that on the card, but the very last room that you go into, it has survivors on one side, people that perished on the other side. So you find your person's name.
I'd have to dress up. I wouldn't be able to go unless I dressed up. I'd have to be like the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Victorian.
I'd have to walk around being
They
like,
do have the grand staircase.
new money. That's my favorite line from that movie.
That one in Cincinnati, I was looking at pictures of it. You can sit in a lifeboat.
Oh, wow.
That might be a little too eerie for me.
I think
A
we
little
need
too
to go to
close
that
to-
one.
One of the really interesting things about the one that's in Sevierville.
Survival.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Miss Chokes on
Sorry.
Dick, I got a question.
No kidding. But the one in Sevierville, it was really cool. And they have a lot of memorabilia and stuff like that. But in one piece of it, there's an iceberg room where you can put your hand into water that
I've
was
heard
as
about that.
cold as that. And it
No, thank you.
it is freezing water.
I took Cole.
My hand's cold right now. Just thinking.
Oh, yeah.
I took Cole and Adam and Emily there the year after Amber had passed away. Cole was graduating, so I took us down for his graduation. And we went there. And Cole looks at me and he says, "Watch this." And he looks at Adam and he says, "I bet I can keep my hand in there longer than you can." Well, it's dark. You can't see.
Yeah,
Right.
it's dark.
So
in the room.
he's sitting there going, dee, 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 with his hand in this cold water. And Adam's like, "No, I can't do it anymore." And he pulls his hand out. He didn't even have his hand
course.
in there. It was
Bless
so
his
funny.
heart.
It was so funny. It cracked me up.
That is funny.
Now, this one, I really want to watch this one because I can't remember if we've talked about this on the show, but it's the Speedway Murders. It's on Hulu and Disney Plus. Back in 78 in Speedway, Indiana, there were 4 teenagers that come up missing from a burger chef, and they found them the next day murdered.
Oh, shit.
So it's all about that.
Yeah.
And I remember when this happened, and I really want to watch that one really bad.
It's funny how old Kim is, and she always remembers all this shit.
I know. I
Every time we
forget.
talk
I'm
about
like, What are
something.
you talking about?
I know. We're sitting here talking about the Titanic, and she's like, I know,
I
I missed my
remember.
ship.
I don't think
missed
that
it.
they
We
ever
didn't have
found
school
out
the
who done
next
it.
day. It was such a big story.
Right.
I don't think they ever found out who done it. I think at one point I was going to cover it on here, but I don't think I did. But so that one's going to be interesting.
She just ignored us, John. She
Yep.
just
I know.
I ain't paying
completely
attention
cut
to
us
you
off.
She
whatsoever.
just didn't hear us.
Cut us off.
When she's
Whatever.
old and senile, I bet that the voices in her head are going to sound like me and you in these mics right now.
Right.
She'll be trying to fall asleep and we'll just be like, Kim, the end is soon. You're all alone. What's that smell, girl?
I didn't put
I
down
smell
which
salmon.
you hush.
That's why Betty likes you, Kim.
I didn't
Her
put
food has salmon in
You
it.
got salmon oil, girl? I love it.
whatever. I didn't put down on what platform this was on.
Your coochie smell like salmon.
Shut up.
Is she okay, your pet?
Betty?
Yeah.
She's sleeping in the truck.
I know, but is
told
she
you.
going to like wake up and
In the truck.
poo or
No.
anything?
Oh, no. I walked her around to use the
Okay.
bathroom before you got here.
In the truck? Why did you leave her in the truck?
Teslas have dog mode, remember?
I know.
We kept you in it.
She has a kennel in the back.
I know.
And after the farmer's market,
She's tired.
it's several hours of her interacting with people, so she gets very sleepy. So she just likes to, that's her favorite place to sleep is in the truck. And I think it's because
That is so
Soundproof
weird.
and air conditioned.
Yeah, it could be.
it's quiet
It's her
and it's
happy
dark.
place.
Yeah. So she just prefers it in there, and I was letting her get some sleep in.
That's her kennel, her cave.
Yeah. She loves going in it. It's hard, like sometimes it's hard to get her out because she just, which I'm the same way.
Oh yeah,
I'd be like, I'm always like, man, I wish I could just crawl in there,
that's
take a
how
nap.
I've got Annie, her kennel, but I never shut the door. But I've got like a
Yeah.
blanket over it. It's in a corner, you know. But when she's in it, like she don't want to come out. She ain't coming out. You gotta
Mm-mm.
lure her with a treat or the ruffle of a bag or
Right.
something.
Kim's panties.
Try to
You want
put
some
Ziggy in.
salmon?
Try to put Ziggy in a crate or something. He would throw a hissy fit.
Well, it's because you have to get them used to it. You have to train
Oh
them.
yeah,
Well, he was when he was a puppy, but when he was a puppy during COVID, so I was working from home then, and I never had to put him in one, so he just got used
Well,
to
that's a you're bad because you should have kept them up. You could that's a part of training a dog is you have to train yourself. I've learned, so you have to
Annie's so,
continue to
like,
put them in it.
kennel trained that she knows, like when Mom and I both put our shoes on, she just goes straight to the kennel. But I never shut the door. But she'll stay in it until we come back in that door. It's so fun.
Yeah, he doesn't mess with anything if I'm not at home, so it doesn't bother me that he's out.
It makes you feel bad if you're gone for a while because Annie
Yeah.
won't pee or drink or eat if we're
Yeah.
gone. So I'll like,
That's the way Ziggy
as soon
is.
as we come home, she runs and pees, and then she just sits at that water bowl like. I'm like, oh, good girl, God, girl, you're out.
Ziggy will sit in my chair the whole time that I'm gone.
Well, that's what
Poor babies.
Yeah, I don't. But like I said, this one I don't remember what it was on. I didn't put it down, but it's called Lost in the Amazon. It's the rescue of 4 children that was in a plane crash. And it's the story of them documenting them, trying to find them.
Jesus. That sounds like that. Makes me think of that Home and Away movie where the
Oh, yeah.
animals. I've been in a 90s nostalgia movie. I watched Uncle Buck the other day. I've been really, most of the movies I've been watching are my requirements to watch it is, are there cell phones in it?
right.
And if the answer is yes, I don't want to watch it. I want to
makes
watch
sense.
like 90s,
Yeah,
80s, like
classic.
just nostalgia, like big old cars, and
Right.
people using pay phones. I love it.
Okay, so we'll get into the others on the unmask then. So I did this time best Florida Man headlines. I love doing these. They're so
Florida
funny.
man, Florida man.
Lord.
Florida Man had hour-long junk food fest inside a closed Walgreens.
Well, if you're there,
No kidding.
Not my fault the truck couldn't surf. Florida Man arrested after driving into the ocean.
oh my God. What do you mean it's not amphibious?
Yeah, right. Florida Man breaks into a house to shave a cat's head and left without stealing anything.
Just
Why?
to shave the cat's
Why?
head.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Someone had told him that bold.
I feel a beep coming on in our future.
He was curious.
Couldn't get one any other way.
You're ridiculous. Oh my God. Now this one's for Betty White.
Ooh,
Florida Man tries to shoot a puppy. Puppy shoots him instead.
good. He deserves it.
No kidding.
Open the dick.
Burn.
Florida Man dressed as a banana charged for whipping out his banana.
Oh my gosh.
I'd only charge if it was little. That's. I feel like
If it was worth seeing,
if
then
a
you
guy,
wouldn't charge him.
if I'm ever flashed, it's like, oh, thank you, sir. If it's like, oh, I'm calling the police.
Last but not least, Florida Man tries to get gator drunk, gets bitten.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Aren't they the best? I
That
love
is
them.
funny.
So stupid it hurts.
All right. Are we all ready to close?
Yeah, we are.
All right. Make sure you come and join our Patreon. We finally have our 15 new members, and we still need to talk
schedule our
about
live.
scheduling that. We have been so
we were
busy.
so tired after last week. We did 3 episodes.
Yeah.
We just all kind of quietly
Passed out.
separated.
So what we're talking about is on Patreon, Shane's going to do a mystery, and Josh is going to dress me up in drag. It was just a contest that we had. Also, CrimeCon is September 5th through the 17th in Denver, Colorado. Start saving your money to come see us there in Denver. I'm very
September
excited about
what?
it. September 5th through the 7th.
Okay, you said 7th. I was 5th through the 17th. I was
Did
like,
I say the 17th?
good God, it's so long this year.
Oh, no, I would have been okay if it had been that long.
I was like, I can't people that many days in a row. That's a lot of people.
Right.
Oh, God.
And don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias. Come visit us at itsmysteryinc.com. You'll find all of our episodes, photos of us. Visit us, our merch store. You can find all of our Mystery Inc. goodies, t-shirts, coffee cups, little dicks, necklaces, all that good fun stuff.
Just know when you see us at CrimeCon, I will be highly medicated because I get social
Self-medicated.
anxiety. So I will be real just smiley. But if I don't talk a lot, you know why.
And if you're looking for us, just look for the woman who looks pissed.
Pissed. Yeah.
Pissed,
Look for
pissed.
Kim's stank
please.
face and you'll
And
come
follow
back.
the salmon.
You're ridiculous. I don't like either one of you. I don't know why we're friends.
You love us.
All right.
All right,
Guess
guys.
we'll
Well,
get on to unmask then.
yeah, we'll catch y'all over on Unmasked.
Talk at you later.
Bye.
Bye.